Shankar, welcome to this very interesting topic, okay, on organic farming and food. Shankar is a good friend of mine. I know him from 2016 from Maple Tree Farm days.
Mm-hmm.
Shankar is CEO of Bhoomi Farms and founder as well. The unique experiments which you are doing in greens and vegetables and your perspectives, okay, on how this can be scaled, what are the challenges you are facing, what are the consumer perceptions, okay, what is the investor ecosystem like, how people, okay, are able to adapt what you are doing, okay, into their own, okay, production systems.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the conversation we want to have today, Shankar. Thank
Hi,
you very
Shashi.
much for joining. Shankar, why Bhoomi Farms? What's happening in Bhoomi Farms, Shankar?
I think Bhoomi Farms is the answer to my long time thirst to do source traceable, clean, nutritious food, safe, clean, source traceable food. Um, Over the 8 years, last 8, 9 years, I'm finding one thing that is very difficult in India is proving source traceability and clean food and nutritious food. These three have been a challenge. So I think I really think that the country needs it, the people needs it, especially children need it, families need it. So I thought it's worthwhile spending all my energy and time fully dedicated for that.
What motivates you, Shankar? So, in a technology industry, okay, in US, and very well settled down, and some experiments in US on farming, the towards a big scale, okay, and um, then moving to India, okay, family in US, you are here.
Yeah,
So, what's happening? Why? What is that which is bothering you so much, Shankar?
I think the biggest challenge I faced in my life is my 6 month old daughter um, going through some health crisis, and I couldn't bear it. That's where it started. And then from there, I started reading more about food and doing some research on how food is grown, how what is the nutrition content of food, how food affects us. Um, did a lot of work on understanding that first. Then I started traveling to farms, mainly in Salinas Valley. In Salinas Valley, there are a lot of organic farms, and I landed in one of the organic farms called Pinnacle Organics. There, a gentleman by name Phil Foster was living a life which looked like a dream for me. That was the beginning of the spark. But I think the biggest influence after that was a person called Matthew Engelhardt. He was running a 20-acre farm in Vacaville, California, and I would call him my mentor. And he is the person who further encouraged me to take up a 23-acre parcel and try farming. He had a restaurant. So he said, don't worry about sales. You can supply to all the vegetables to me. So always for every person, there is a helping hand somehow. So for me, he was the person who encouraged me. The beginning, it was really scary, but ultimately, I'm still farming after 18 years, which is a little bit of a shock for me because farming is not a business where everybody survives. To be very honest, farming is very hard to make ends meet, and I think I'm lucky. You should say I might have shut down business long ago, but I think you can say that I'm very lucky to still continue farming. There's always somebody God sends, the universe is sending to help me at different times. Um, that is one thing that really motivates me is the fact that there is a lot of things to learn and there is no end for it. It's a peak you can never climb. You keep on climbing, so that gives a lot of motivation. The second thing is I get a high. doing farming. High in the good sense. So if you start reading about farming, let's say at 10 o'clock till 1 o'clock, I can read without sleeping. Or working with young people like agronomists that we have hired. We have 10 plus agronomists who are very young. They are looking for a future. So guiding them about farming and making them into wholesome people rather than title with an agronomist or something. So those kind of things really helps me. We have a very young team. And for last 8 years in India, some people have been with me, like more than 20 people have been with me all 8 years as farmers, part of our farming team. So I would say that really motivates me to keep going.
Coming back to our fundamental discussion, Shankar, what's really happening in organic space, okay, in especially in India, and do you think there is a future for organic food production in India?
Yes, there is future for organic food production in India if organic food production is profitable and customers are willing to pay some premium price for organic vegetables, fruits, and organic products. So the reason organic vegetables or organic products are selling at higher prices also because of the supply demand parity. And I think the demand is reasonably there, but supply is very limited. And I sincerely feel that if the investment community can invest more in grassroots level work, like what Bhoomi is trying to do, it will help us rather than investing a lot more in the agri-tech space where you buy from the farmer or you sell to the farmer or you work on a supply chain or you work on some warehousing, work on some distribution or maybe some drones. Those are all important. I'm not saying they are not, but fundamentally work with the soil requires investment, requires research, requires more people with education to focus on it, because I believe health is fundamental and soil health will only lead to human health. So given that, I say that there is great future for organic if the cost of organic production can be reduced by simplifying the work more and more, and the demand for organic keeps increasing.
See, so that's from a market point of view, that's on the production side.
Correct.
Okay, but do you think there's a true organic production is happening in India? So let's be very honest, what's happening in the organic space? Okay, and I've seen you from 2016, okay,
Correct.
and struggling, okay, and from 2010 we have been in that space, still not made money,
Correct.
okay, and a lot of things are okay said, okay, a lot of things are unsaid, okay, and do you think true organic production systems are possible in India or not? I'm coming back to my fundamental question,
Yes,
Shankar.
true organic production systems are possible if you follow the small farm model with polyculture, on farm composting, on farm cover cropping, and minimum tillage. If you combine all this, definitely, and also we would like to have variety of products, not just vegetables, but you may want fruits, you want something to keep the farmer going, keep him sustainable. In a certain month, probably there won't be any vegetables, and a certain other month there won't be any fruits. Certain other month you can sell honey. If you are a honeybee, you're capable of keeping honeybees in your farm, or you can have some goats, or you can raise some chickens. If you design a farm such that you have variety of products which are interdependent on each other and support each other, and a husband, wife, family, maybe kids, uncles and aunts, if they come together and help each other in their own little farms, and in the small farm model, I believe organic farming can really thrive.
But Shankar, isn't it contradictory
Mhm.
on what's in reality it's happening? In the reality, the diversity of a farm you mention, reality doesn't exist. Okay, it's very difficult to make that diversity work.
Correct.
Okay, first problem. Second problem is the small farm model. I think it has been proven long back that it is not profitable. No way people can make money in small farms. And young people are leaving farming. Okay, the food production aspects, okay, they are getting into trouble every day. For
Correct.
example,
Correct.
okay, if you look at a MRL standards and take any food, conventional or organic, you just take and test it, actually you'll get find shocking results.
Correct.
Okay, nobody talks about, okay, these issues.
Nobody talks about the
Yes,
elephant in the room.
yeah, the best part is, okay, that most of the organic, okay, produce today is a trade. Nobody is actually getting into organic production and trying to solve the problem. The problem actually is in the production. It's not in the trade.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
not in the supply chain. Okay,
Correct.
so what is happening in this space? Can you just tell me what's Bhoomi is doing, okay, to solve this fundamental production system? And before you
Correct.
answer,
Okay.
okay, that for example where you are sitting now today, okay, is you're trying to control a lot of parameters. Okay, hey, can I save my crop from the rain?
Hmm.
Can I save my crop from the sun? Okay, and also of course you have production issues, okay, and pest attacks, um, and you're trying to innovate, okay, now in an organic way I can,
Correct.
okay, grow the food. Given all these complications, okay, when we don't know what is, okay, going to hit us tomorrow. For example, last 15 days back rains, you lost most of the crops, okay.
I would say
Now,
we lost 30 lakhs worth of crop.
30 lakhs worth of crops, okay. And given these kind of production issues to things which are not under your control, and a organic market where nobody wants to talk, okay, about the reality of farming, leave our organic farming, and young people are leaving.
Correct.
So, how do you expect to change this situation from what you are doing right now, Shankar?
Yeah, I mean, you asked me a very difficult question. I can tell the journey of Bhumi, yes. I can tell what is hope. And I want to continue hoping despite the odds. And I do agree that we are in a very difficult business, extremely difficult business. Let me start with the journey of Bhumi. We started with one farm. This farm, we had about 20 acres, but we were growing only on 8 acres. Started hiring people who could work with me with the same vision and built a small team. This was in 2021 after I left Maple Tree. And at that time, the idea was to grow on 200 acres of greenhouses so that we could reduce the variables. What are the variables? There is rain, there is heavy sun. For rain, you put a structure which will prevent the rain from coming. And for sun, you will put a shade net below the structure so that it will cool it. And like that, we were relying on technology. Eventually, we found out that the return on investment for a structure that costs approximately 65 to 80 lakhs per acre is 15 years or 10 years. And such an ROI is not welcomed by the investment community. So, our dream plan was to build 200 acres of structures, build a large farm, and then grow lots of vegetables, control all the parameters, and build the soil and do beautiful organic farming with the soil. The dream collapsed because we were looking at close to 130 crores worth of structures that we need to put. So this farm we are sitting in is about 11 crores of investment. All the roads, ponds, irrigation, structures and everything. So we kind of stopped at that 11 crores. And we started thinking about how to do low cost farming. I think while I was in a state of great confusion, in 2023 March, I met this gentleman, Shashi Kumar, and he told me very clearly that you should not be growing vegetables, but you should help farmers grow vegetables. So when I met Shashi, first thing he told is, Shankar, you cannot build a 200-acre greenhouse because what if you needed 400 acres of greenhouse? Or maybe you need 1,000 acres. So you'll keep on making greenhouses. Is that how it will work? And he also explained scalability to me in agriculture a little bit. Um I would say that was a turning point for me. This was 2023 March. At that time, it came to me very clearly that we have to do something with the farmers. It's not like I didn't go and meet farmers. I have been meeting farmers from 2016. At least 2,000 farmers I have met. In fact, I've talked to farmers in meetings with 200 farmers in assembly, and trying to translate from English to Kannada and maybe Tamil and all that. I've tried my and I'll be very frank and honest. I got scared to work with farmers because the problems of working with farmers are till today for me mind-boggling. Farmers' expectation versus sense of control anybody working with farmers can have. They are two different things. So you don't feel you are in control of the things when you work with farmers. That has been my experience again and again. And also the search for farmers. I believe if you search for 100 farmers, you are able to find one farmer who can be suitable for your needs. So this has been the ratio. If you are lucky, among 10 farmers search, you will find one farmer. So reasons are very simple. Different farmers work differently, and farmer selection process is very complex. So to me, it appeared that, oh, you know what, why can't we go for the factory model and build 200 acres of, it appeared easy.
Shankar, just
Uh,
stopping you there.
uh-huh.
Don't you think? So let's ask the question differently. Okay,
Okay.
what is the problem we are trying to solve? Okay, if you ask, no, in farming,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we need people producing food. Okay, we
Correct.
agree.
Correct.
Okay, the question here is it a consolidated model? One company doing some 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 acres of farming.
That's a failure model.
Okay, no, we don't know the failure. Okay, but we are copying. Okay, what has been a system. Okay, either a Western system,
It's a Western
American
system.
or a European system.
Yeah.
We are copying, and
It's like a manufacturing unit.
yes, and we all know, okay, that if you get into a manufacturing system, you work with biology will stop. Okay, work with, okay, your soil will stop. You work with microbes will stop. Okay, and everything you start thinking in terms of, okay, what are the nutrients I need to pump into the soil to make, okay, the plants grow or
It
food
can
happen.
potentially become an input-output system.
Yes, but the problem we are trying to solve is retaining the human potential, okay, which is there in farming,
Mm-hmm.
and getting young people into farming, okay, so that our food production systems for generations to come, okay, is streamlined. But in a consolidated model, okay, don't you think it's a failing antithesis? Okay,
Correct.
because landholding in India is less than 3 acres of land.
Correct.
I also fundamentally disagree with your point, Shankar, that farmers are difficult to work. Okay, farmers are difficult to work, okay, because one fundamental reason which has happened maybe in the last 100 years, every company goes to a farmer,
Correct.
sells something to him.
Yes.
Then nobody ensures farmer will ever make money.
Correct.
Okay, seed company goes and sells seeds.
Correct.
Manure company sells manure. Equipment company sells equipments. Okay, spraying company sells sprays. Okay, and imagine
Services companies sell services.
everything they sell it to farmer, but in return,
And they also buy at very cheap prices and
yeah, no,
right
buying cheap prices might be a market demand, but even buying at a cheap prices, farmer can make money. But after selling all these things to farmers, okay, farmer never makes money. Nobody ensures farmer
nobody
makes
ensures
money.
he makes money.
That's the reason farmer doesn't trust anybody. There's no reason why you should trust if everybody is taking money away from him. Don't you think the fundamental way the problem, okay, my question to you is the problem, what is the problem you're trying to solve? Able to prove that farming is viable.
Correct.
Isn't it the fundamental problem, Shankar?
Correct. Correct.
It is conventional or organic. So, how do you think the Bhoomi-like models can be adopted into farming ecosystem? Why I say this one, Shankar? I'll take a little bit more time. Okay, I've seen, okay, science applied here. Okay, I've seen, okay, a lot of processes applied here. I've seen lot of thought behind soil management has gone here. Okay, I've seen lot of thought behind, that means how to make humic compost. Okay, and this needs to be really propagated at a farmer level, so that his level of awareness can go up. He can actually grow food.
Correct.
So what it takes to adopt Bhoomi like models, Shankar, in a general farming ecosystem in India.
Correct. So from 2023, after we met Sashi, met you, Sashi, we've been trying a model to work with farmers. So far, our experience is very limited. We worked with about 25 farmers, and right now we have only 8 or 9 farmers whom we could actually continue working with. The rest of the farmers, we learnt a lot of lessons. Some farmers, we couldn't support them well with our agronomists. Some farmers, we ended up growing crops out of season so that they made losses. Some farmers, they did not fully trust our approach of organic. They started using chemicals in the side. And depending upon the scenario, we had to discontinue our relationship with them. I do fully agree that farmers have not been taken care in this country for sure. And that works as a disadvantage because building trust and relationship comes first, and then comes transactional, meaning grow a crop and buy the crop back, full buyback, give profit for the farmer, make profit for Bhoomi. All that comes later. So when we heavily invest in farmers, demonstrate that we really care for them, absolutely yes, it works. And I think if you can find the right farmers in every village, maybe there is a potential for those farmers to influence their friends and other families of farmers, who will eventually look at the way the company is supporting the farmer and come and join the group, right? That is definitely possible. And that is the only hope with which we are continuing Bhoomi, because we are very convinced that Bhoomi's production, which is probably 3 to 4 tons a day today, will eventually be coming from farmers. Could be 10 to 15 tons a day or 20 tons a day, will come only from farmers. We don't want to build more and more farms. Today we are 8 farms, various sizes, starting from 5 acres all the way to 25 acres. So we don't want to keep building from farm 8 to farm 18, 20 like that, because we have also found out that managing 8 farms is no joke, and it's very hard to do that as a company. And as you said, climate is against us. Suddenly you lose a lot of crops. We discussed that in the recent rains, we lost close to 30 lakhs worth of crop. And that's 3 months worth of losses, continuing losses. And all that risk, if it is distributed across a lot of small farmers, we will be able to support those farmers who lost the crops in some way by giving them seed money for the next round of crops. And a lot of small farmers can contribute little to our supply. That is the only model that I see as working. And I do agree that if we don't do a lot of hand holding for them and build trust that is already lost, only then there is any possibility of future. How Bhoomi is trying to get there is from the lessons learned with the 25 farmers we worked with, including some Akshayakalpa farmers, non-Akshayakalpa farmers. What we essentially learned is the farmers want to see a working model. Without that working model, really, they don't want to trust any of your words. They will come and see a big farm like this, like Bhoomi Farms. They'll say, they see all the investment being poured in, and they will feel that I cannot do this type of investment. I don't have the money. Most of the farmers are going from crop to crop. If not year to year, they are actually going from crop to crop, which means they have money only for next 1 or 2 crops. And if they don't succeed in that crop, they'll take a big break, maybe work somewhere else, earn some money, and then come back into farming. And during the time, they lease their land to somebody else so that they can make money with that also. So they are in survival mode all the time. So for a person in survival mode all the time, first thing we need to build is trust, and also provide a low cost model. If we give a very high cost model, it gets very difficult for them. So based on this, we wanted to develop, and we are starting to develop right now, small models, 2-acre farms, One in this farm, we have a farm within the farm, and I kind of explained to you earlier in the day that I showed you a diagram or a plan, and we are developing one model in Navalpakam. We are developing one model in Tiptur, using our concepts we have learnt so far, and what will work and what will not work. 4 years of our journey has taught us lot of lessons. What is the compost we can use that will actually work? What could be the bio inputs that we can use, that will actually work? What type of crop rotation will work? What type of polyculture will work? What type of bed making will work? For example, how to build the soil. Many things we have learnt, and we are trying to apply all that into a single 2 acre, 1 acre model that we can fit into the farmer's farm eventually. So, for this, we are developing a actual financial data, so that this data can be used to prove that this model is actually working. And sadly, this has been a 3.5 year journey now. Only now we are starting to build this model. And in agriculture, things happen slowly, and we learn lessons over years. And I think Bhoomi is probably a minimum 20-year journey. So, having said that, we are a relatively young company, and we have done 3.5 years now. And hopefully, in 1 year, we may have a working model for farmers, and we'll start actually working with farmers who can look at this model and learn. And yes, he's right that many things are against us. Weather is against us, insects are against us. Insects are not really against us, insects are part of nature, but insects come and destroy production, diseases happen. So, for all this, we have worked on technology solutions. Some solutions are actually working, some are not working. We are still working on fixing it, and that's how I'll put it. And we do have some collaborations internationally to bring some experts from other countries to help us. Not that we don't have expertise in India, that's not the point. But I do see them working for many, many years and providing solutions to farmers. So, from that angle, we really think that there are people who know more than us, and hopefully they can help us. So,
So one question, Shankar,
mhm.
okay, is a question on pollination. Okay,
Mhm.
okay. So now you got a closed shed net. Okay, and some of the zucchinis you grow. Okay, and your customers love it.
Mhm.
Okay, be name of it. Okay,
Mhm.
maybe they can taste sautekai. They
Mhm.
don't want sautekai. They need zucchinis.
They need
Let's say.
to
Okay, so and you encourage them by feeding zucchinis.
Okay.
But what's happening in pollination world of zucchinis? Why don't you just explain? Okay,
Yeah.
what is the struggle now you are going through because of your paranoia? Okay, of protecting the crop, but
Yeah.
still being organic, still being able to present the great produce to a consumer.
Correct. So, see, we are struggling all the time as organic farmers because we pour money into the soil and into the people and into growing the whole process, growing the vegetable. And a lot of processes have been set up here where everything happens like clockwork. People are coming on time and doing the things, and vegetables start coming out in crates and eventually reach the customer in packets. Right? The whole process seems to be working. The problem is nature is ultimately a winner. Nature is telling, don't do it. But then the customer says, no, 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 do it. Customer wants the zucchini. Customer wants the product, cucumber. Because cucumber, they want to slice it every day almost. And cucumber doesn't grow here, for example, in this climate, in during several months. So, what is the pressure involved is cucumber is a good crop, good creates good tonnage, good volume. Easily, you can harvest lots of cucumber very quickly. And the need to grow cucumber is such that if you grow it in a protected environment and actually do hand pollination between the male flower and female flower through our field staff, we are able to. Recently, we reached 170 kg per bed of cucumber, which is a lot of cucumber by hand pollination. Um, Sadly, we are not supposed to do that. That's a fact. But sadly, the fruit fly also is not supposed to exist because the fruit fly comes and pokes that cucumber. And see, there are a lot of pitfalls of having structures like this. One of the biggest pitfalls is it's the perfect environment for breeding disease and insects. That's the other side of the story. While you run away from nature to protect your crop, such as a delicate vegetable like zucchini or cucumber, or even the bitter gourd or snake gourd, many times. Um the fact is, these places are excellent breeding houses for disease and pest. So what we do to solve that is give some rest, or grow a crop from a different family, or give gaps in production, those kind of stuff. Or we use biology as an example, as a as a spray. We spray metarhizium, for example. Metarhizium effectively breaks the pest life cycle by killing the eggs and pupa in the soil. We spray biology to keep this safe. Actually, despite the fact that this looks close, a lot of birds somehow come in. Even monkeys come into this greenhouse. And fact is, like, I don't believe that we should farm away from nature, but it helps. These greenhouses help for two good purposes. During the worst times, when rains have destroyed most of the crops in the open field, we seem to survive with greenhouses. Number one. Number two, uh, greenhouses basically helps give full-time employment to our employees. So when it is raining outside, they get the satisfaction of working inside. Here, in this farm alone, there are 35 to 40 employees plus 10 agronomists who are full-time, whether it's raining outside or very sunny outside, whether crops can be grown or not, whether there is any work or not. They are being paid by Bhoomi on a daily basis. These people find their happiness in a place like this where they still have work. So from that angle, greenhouses make us feel good. From a greenhouse standpoint, we have made a large improvement from 65 lakhs per acre, which is the cost of a structure, to 23 lakhs per acre today. So that's a big improvement in our opinion. That's like 3x reduction in cost through our efforts. So I would say that that gives us some happiness on the ROI standpoint. But I would still strongly encourage not growing in greenhouses and shade nets, because they all come with a lot of gotchas.
The fundamental of getting a young guy, okay, into farming is economics, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we trying to say economics? Is it a crop? Is it,
Yeah.
okay, what it is? Okay, my definition of, okay, economics of a farm, okay, falls down to two important aspects, okay. One thing is how diverse, okay, the farm is,
Correct.
okay, in terms of, okay, produce, or in terms of, okay, market facing entities, okay.
Correct.
Second thing is how, okay, various elements in the farm, okay, we can call it as ecology, okay, shaped up. What is ecology? Man, a animal, okay, soil, a microbe, okay, a tree, okay, a bird, okay, all of it, everything in and around is part of an ecology. When a farm which is diverse and ecologically sound actually leads into economics.
Correct.
But the models, okay, where, okay, Western thought process has been that lot of input going into the farm, outputs come. Okay. The question here is, don't we think we are pushing, okay, farming ecosystem to a brink of a collapse by advocating models, okay, based on a lot of input driven models? Input, when I say input, manure is an input, seed is an input, okay, spray is an input, technology effect like a tractors or a tillers or whatever is an input.
Correct.
Okay, and services is an input. Okay, everything you imagine today goes as an input, it is a cost.
Correct.
But if you just for a time being forget about that, just look at maybe 100, 200, maybe 300 years back of farming ecosystem in the country, it was not an input based system. It was an ecological farming which was diverse. Simple example I'll give you. If you grow a millets, okay, ragi, if you take a finger millet, along with ragi, 6 crops were grown,
Correct.
okay, and they are all rain fed. Those ecosystems are gone, okay.
Gone. Yeah.
And now, how do you expect, Shankar? So I see the beds and rows of, okay, greens and vegetables, everything which is grown. So aren't we giving a wrong picture to outside world as a let me say farming way forward, that we need to give a lot of inputs to get outputs rather than focusing on diversity
Correct.
and ecology of a farm.
Correct. So let's talk about seed. You said a lot of things, right? I mean, I'm just starting with one thing. Let's talk about seed. In those days, people used to save seed. They probably had 20 seeds in a community. And then if you go to another community, there are 20 other seeds. And there was exchange of seeds between community to community. Seed saving was essential part of farming. Today, the fact is, if you don't buy, Bhoomi Farms doesn't buy seeds from 20 different companies, right? We cannot survive. That is fact. Okay. We do save seed, but all our seeds are very, very experimental that we save. We have a lot of the so-called naughty seed or the open pollinated seed. We do try growing them. Some grow, some don't grow. And we keep growing them and we keep saving seed and we keep replanting them. But at a commercial scale, we are unable to grow using naughty seed. That is the fact of our existence today. Second, we are investor driven and investment driven as a company. So investors are not willing to wait for 5 years for a tree to bear fruit. So how can we mix tree and vegetables is a big question for us. So when we plant a tree, we have to wait 3 to 5 years to see any result. But when we plant a vegetable, we can get a result in 3 months, right? So from that angle, yes, we grow a lot of vegetables. Our goal to create and encourage polyculture is have a cover crop mix of 20 seeds applied to 20% of the surface area of a farm. So from that angle, we want to promote biodiversity, not from the angle of mixing, let's say, different types of crops. Here, we are probably the only company in entire India trying to grow 100 plus varieties of vegetables. So from that angle, we are polyculture driven, but not exactly from a model standpoint, but from a production standpoint. Yeah.
At that point, Shankar, just a quick interjection.
Mm-hmm.
So in India,
Yeah.
if you take anybody who has tried to grow greens and vegetables,
Mm-hmm.
they have failed.
They failed, yeah.
Okay.
Organically, I mean.
No,
Chemically also.
organically and conventionally also,
Conventionally
it is
also.
a failed model.
It's a failed model.
Failed model, okay.
Yeah.
And nobody has made money.
Nobody has made money.
Okay. So now there is such a difficult space.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
we are
yes.
into. Okay.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Organic makes life a little bit more complicated than conventional systems. And in conventional systems also, people are not made money. So given all these kind of complexities, okay, of we don't know we'll make money or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But why we should farm, okay, in the first place like this? Okay. What drives this thought process, Shankar?
See, without farming, there's no food. So we have to farm. We should farm profitably, yes. There is no profit, I agree with you. We have to build models that will eventually become profitable. And Bhumi is in the process of working on it. And it's a very difficult journey, very discouraging journey most of the time, because sometimes investors don't understand what we are trying to do. Even the customers don't understand what we are trying to do. They only like the product, but not the process. The reason our team and me, we want to do this is because it's important. I always believe that if something is very important and if you are sure that it's going to fail, you still do it. So from that angle, I would like to continue doing it, but I would like to keep working with people who are in the field to learn from them and also apply my own thinking to find a way to make this work, because we have no choice other than making this work. We are literally against the wall, I agree, but we have to keep fighting. There is no real other choice. We have.
Shankar, every time I visit this farm too,
Okay.
okay, and I go to a pile of rejected vegetables,
Okay.
okay, and you grade so heavily,
Correct.
that whom are you trying to please? Con- Customers, yourself, or you're trying to retain a customer. So don't you think it's also okay upon you to go and tell customers,
Hmm.
you know, there's nothing wrong with these vegetables or these greens, okay,
Correct.
and accept them as they are rather than grading so heavily
Correct.
and trying to please them. What's happening, Shankar? Why is such a paranoia?
Yeah. So right now, Bhumi is selling vegetables at a very expensive price in the organic sector. And the moment the customer feels that they are receiving a expensive vegetable compared to the vegetable on the street, they want nothing but premium. Okay, the mindset. In some sense, I am the person encouraging that. I do agree with that. They want premium means best looking vegetable, right? And that kind of standard is expected by them. It's not like the vegetables eventually reach the compost. We can take the vegetables that are unsold, cut them, and process them into different other products like dried products or maybe juice or some byproducts that we can use. But that part is not successful at Bhumi yet. I can say that. And I do agree with you that we want to encourage customers to take vegetables that are not up to the mark. So we run a veggie box program where there are members. So for members, we do have vegetables that what are called as misshape or vegetables that don't fit their requirement. I mean expectation. We sell them at 20 rupees, 30 rupees a kg. We do that. But generally, when you are trying to build a brand for vegetables, there is a certain expectation that runs along with it. Maybe my whole thinking and my concept is incorrect. But what I'm trying to say is that the premium category of customers who are actually buying from us, they expect only premium vegetables. And this bad looking or damaged or cosmetically broken vegetables, cosmetically damaged vegetables, we try to consume in our cafeterias. We give to Akshayakalpa cafeteria. We try to give it to our employees. We eat that. All the time I'm eating only broken vegetables, I mean bad looking vegetables, but good vegetables. But the fact is that as a brand, we are not able to sell anything as a vegetable. Let's say milk, right? I mean, milk has to go through certain standardization and get sold. Same way, vegetables have been following this trend. But I do agree that vegetables are very precious and very expensive to grow. And it's really criminal, sometimes I can say, to sell vegetables, not sell vegetables and bring it to a compost pile. I do agree with you. Yeah.
So, what's happening on the consumer education part given this kind of a challenges we are facing? So,
Yeah,
anything can be done on consumer education part.
definitely,
Get them
definitely.
here, show them what's
Yeah,
happening,
yeah, yeah. Correct,
tell them,
correct,
hey, this is a life, okay? Accept, okay, this reality, and
correct,
they're all good vegetables, good greens, okay? And for example, now next to you, I can see the palak is grown, okay?
correct.
Maybe next week you will harvest, or in next 2 days you will harvest, okay?
Yeah.
And send
This
it to
is
market.
2 weeks more.
Yeah. So, but if I were to be you, okay, I would not harvest in 2 weeks. Okay, I would probably, okay, harvest maybe after 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. Okay, allow that one to grow a little bit, okay, bigger. Okay,
Mm.
maybe leaves have some holes in them.
Hmm.
They're all fine, but still there's a lot of nutrition in there.
Correct.
So why don't you tell that, Shankar? Why are you wasting so much? See, one thing I found, Shankar, is very difficult to accept is rather than telling them the reality, we are trying to show them something which is unreal. That
Mm.
is graded vegetables and giving them. Um, I think consumers also should realize, okay, that what they need is good nutrition, not what is good looking. But what is happening in that space isn't it? Aren't we misguiding consumers? Okay, saying that you will get, okay, whatever you want because I want to retain you.
Yeah, that's a very good question. Yeah, you're right. See, the idea that we work with is that we do charge a premium for our customers, and for premium price, we give very good quality. And grading in the vegetable industry has been a standard practice across the world. So we follow that standard practice. We don't want to, sell vegetables with cosmetic issues or vegetables with holes in them, mainly because customers end up thinking that we are fleecing them. I mean, we are cheating them. So that has been the experience. Yes, we are trying consumer education, customer education. We tell them that vegetables come in various shapes and sizes. When they come to the farm, also we show them the difficulties of growing vegetables so that they will appreciate and understand. But overall, my experience has been that only 20% or 10% of the entire consumer space are able to accept all this. The standard operating procedure is follow the rules, which is give premium quality vegetables for premium price. And as organic producer, we are unable to do less than premium price.
No, no.
So,
My question is redefine the premium, no?
mhm,
Redefine premium as
as
good
nutrition,
nutrition
yeah,
rather than good looking. That's what I'm trying to say,
correct,
Shankar.
Sashi. We are in the process of the nutrition journey at Bhoomi. I wouldn't call Bhumi's vegetables as at the peak of nutrition. We are in the journey towards peak nutrition. So till we reach that peak nutrition, I'm not able to sell nutrition. Number one, across the world, nutrition is not sold at all. It's always kg. For example, a wonderful farm with great soil growing a carrot versus the average organic farm with average soil growing a carrot. Both are sold at same price per kg. But the soil being better and the processes or methodologies used to grow the carrot being better, the carrot from this farm will be much more nutritious. Today, it costs a lot of money and equipment and investment to sell nutrition to customer. So it is more of a time and investment challenge rather than a lack of need to sell the nutrition. We are very proud that we want to give nutrition to customers and we are working on it. But unfortunately, nutrition has not seen the light of the day yet from a customer facing standpoint. Yeah.
So going a little bit back on the same question, Shankar,
Okay.
from 2016, when the first time I met you, okay,
Okay.
in Maple Tree Farm,
Mm-hmm.
okay, near Tali, and we are also now in Tali, sitting in Tali and chatting.
Okay.
Um, to now, okay, it's now almost 8 9 years of journey.
9 years. Yeah.
Okay, so how this journey of okay learning to grow vegetables, okay, progressing, Shankar. So just before I answer that question, what I've seen, okay, I've seen lot of vegetable and green growers, okay, in the country. Okay, we have integrated vegetables and greens into some of our farms. Okay, they also grow. We are growing in Akshayakalpa, okay, in our raised bed programs. But the challenge, okay, wherever, okay, we go and see, okay, in terms of there are issues with soil, there are issues with, okay, the pest management, there are issues with standard operating procedures, there are issues with seed rates, there are issues with there are a host of challenges, okay, it actually bogging down this space, okay, of
Correct.
growing food.
Correct.
What can be done, okay, not just as Bhoomi, okay, but holistically looking at to solve this problem in the country, what can be done, okay? Is it that we need to change the package of practices? For example,
Mm-hmm.
you go to any university today,
Mm-hmm.
okay, open a book and say they will tell you the package of practices for, okay,
Chemically growing it.
no, it could be chemically or conventional or organic, but they will tell you package of practices.
Okay.
Okay, soil preparation they will tell you. Okay, but okay, when you take that one and practice,
Mm-hmm.
okay, it's more of a theory. Okay, not being practical. The challenge is every farm is different, every area is different, every farmer is different, every okay agroclimatic condition is different,
Correct.
every rain pattern is different, groundwater is different,
Correct.
pest management is different.
Correct.
It's entirely different. Nothing is common. So how are you writing package of practices? So given this kind of variability in farming.
Yeah. So very interesting question. There's a long answer. I don't know whether you're okay with the answer. 2015 December is when I landed. December 24th, I landed in Tali. Somehow I'm attached to this area. I think I could never leave. So 2016 January, I started farming, and this is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 is ending.
Oh.
So that's 9 years. And too many things we have learned. And the recurring learning that keeps repeating. I love this proverb that lessons repeat till you learn. So lessons never end, right? And I figured out that I need lessons to be repeated at least 5 times. That's a very painful thing for me, but I keep repeating mistakes. Yes, I've done that, and there are some recurring truths about any place. See, you are saying that everything is different in different places, but first I want to look at what is common first. The common things are um, high quality compost that we can use for growing vegetables and fruits, uh, cover crops that fit that climate. You can select cover crops or what you call as green manure that we can grow in that area. And the third is the soil cultivation practices, where we disturb the soil less and less. Um, the the fourth aspect is basically uh, understanding the climate and seeds. So we can separate them. Seeds are separate and climate is separate. The different seed varieties work at different climates during different months, and the climate of that place plays a very critical role on how crops are grown. With all other parameters being perfect, if climate is not working, the crop will fail. So there is a lot of minute details involved in growing vegetables. And Bhoomi grows today in 5 climate zones. And we are still learning. For example, in Tiptur, we have been growing only for 1 year now. And we are still learning so many painful lessons. So, in my opinion, growing vegetables in a certain climate zone is a painstaking journey of 3 years. After 3 years, you are not supposed to do too many mistakes. Bhumi is continuing to do mistakes even today. That's the truth. In this whole journey, you also asked, like, how will farmer, like from a general, not just from a Bhumi standpoint, from a farmer standpoint, the model we eventually came up with is to find young people from colleges, give them some meaning in terms of working with farmers, learning agriculture the right way, and then having them train the farmers and handhold the farmers such that they are part of the whole farming ecosystem on a daily visit basis, or every other day they visit the farmer to see if the farmer can grow the crop, and in a give them all the guidance they need. We feel that farmers are like an abandoned lot. The farmers can only learn from two people in this country. One is the pesticide shop wala, who is also selling the seeds. The other person is the neighbor. So there is nobody else to teach the farmer anything. Now I think there are some companies which are coming up with some apps, or some kind of online support, or phone support to guide the farmer, and they're making a business out of it. Other than that, right, farmers are like literally abandoned. So at Bhumi, we are trying to create a model where farmers are handholded. Handholding is being done by the Bhumi trained agronomist. So from that angle, we are training our team to help the farmer succeed. Yes, what do? We give them seeds, we give them seedlings, we give them production plan, which is basically corresponds to the climate of that place. We have climate expertise. We also learn from the farmer sometimes about climate, because he says this will not grow, sir. This will grow. We're constantly learning from the farmer also, and we also try to improve their soil in by giving them the right practices. Okay, initially we put one vegetable crop, then we probably plant a cover crop. So we keep doing that. And in my opinion, Bhumi has taken up a very big problem and trying to solve it. And sometimes we feel choked because we are not able to chew the problem we have taken up. But we still keep fighting and we still keep focusing. And our focus is all about building model that will actually work for farmer. Not a fancy model that will be a good showcase, but a model that actually works for farmer. And my sincere opinion is, If a farmer can grow vegetables, fruits, and honeybees, maybe a few chickens, he can make 1 lakh income profit on a 5 acre uh, area of production. 1 lakh net profit per month on a 5 acre area of land. So we sincerely and truly believe this, and we want to prove it, and we want to make sure it's repeatable, reliable, and scalable so that farmers can learn. This is where the other problem is, as I mentioned in the same answer to his question, that there are agronomy schools, there are agriculture schools, there are no farming schools. So eventually, we want to say very humbly that we want to be a farming school. The entire infrastructure of Bhoomi was created for research only. It was not really created for production. For survival, we are doing production at this point. We want to do more research. We want to learn more. We want to understand more techniques. The last 8 years, we have increased our tools. We have increased our number of agronomists. First 3 years, I had no agronomists. And we started with 1 and 2. Right now, we have 14 agronomists. So agronomists are good as long as you train them in the right direction, make them unlearn things that they learned in university, and make them learn things that matters to farmers. And we also have explored greenhouses, shade nets, and open field, different types of rain protection structures, because climate also is changing. We have global warming happening. So with all this combined, all the knowledge of so many years of seed selection, so many years of understanding climate, so many years of experimenting with various structures, working with agronomists and training them, meeting farmers and understanding what they want, and meeting customers and finding out what they are looking for, I think I have a very good wide range of understanding of the whole picture that is emerging. And I believe Bhumi's success has no meaning if farmer cannot succeed. I don't believe in it. Yeah, we can grow vegetables. We are a specialist in growing some vegetables. It really doesn't matter, because scale and impact ultimately matters. So we hope we can support 1,000 farmers. That's my humble expectation. 1,000 farmers, 2 acres. That's the initial goal. So that's 2,000 acres of farmland which are under Bhoomi farming practices, Bhoomi methodologies, and supported by our software, our agronomists, our bio inputs, our compost little bit, and our seeds, our seedlings, and our regular hand holding, and our buyback of the vegetables from the farmers. Uh, I live by hope, and I keep hoping. We are not successful yet. We have been successful. There are a lot of little successes in the journey, but with working with farmers, we are not successful yet. We are 1.5 years into the journey of working with farmers, and to be honest, right now we are discouraged, and we want to sit back, think, create a model that actually works profitably, and take that model to the farmer. So that's the idea with which we are proceeding right now. So that's the I think the answer for your question.
So, having said that, Shankar,
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying um, working with farmers, making
Uh-huh.
them viable. Okay, look at a most practical package of practices for that agroclimatic region.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you think young farmers are coming to farming? Would they come, irrespective of okay what we would prove them? Do you think there is a hope for getting young farmers? At least my point of view is
It looks irreversible.
no, it's irreversible, impossible. For example, okay, I was born in a farming family, Shankar.
Mm.
My father never wanted me to be a farmer. So this is true in any farming family, any children born today, that parents don't encourage children to become farmers. So what's the point of doing all these things, Shankar? So isn't it? It's a matter of factly, okay? Isn't it what we are all advocating, okay, by policy also and by practicality also? Consolidation is the only way, okay, and big farms are the only way. Isn't it what we are trying to tell?
Uh, See, I think when you look at adversity, when you look at pain, different people have different approach. Um to looking at pain. Either you look at all this pain and run away, or you keep facing the pain and keep coming and fighting and again and again. So I think I'm a fighter. So I want to keep fighting against all odds, number one. Number two, yes, youngsters don't want to farm at all. It's becoming very clear. The average age of the farmer is clearly 45 to 55 across India, different regions. So to get a 25-year-old guy or 20-year-old guy to get into farming is Brahma Prayatna. Like they don't want to. And the beauty of hard work, the beauty of living in nature, the value of eating food from land, and all those things, right? I mean, those values are long lost. The attraction of the city is much, much higher. The attraction of higher education, the attraction of making more money, having a vehicle, a car, a house, living the luxurious life in city is much more attractive for even youngsters in the village. And most of them are migrating to cities and living in cities. And whatever income they are getting, they want to enjoy it and they want to buy food and eat
What's
rather
wrong
than
with it,
grow.
Shankar?
Huh?
What's wrong with it? Okay. When by policy and by design, you're encouraging, you're saying 60% of my population,
Mm-hmm.
okay, is still farming.
Mm-hmm.
The farming contributes to 15% of my GDP.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then therefore we have got excess of people in farming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're trying to remove
Correct.
people from farming by
Uh-huh.
policy.
By
Okay,
policy, yes.
that's how the policymaker thinks. Okay,
Yes, yes,
okay,
yes.
rightly or wrongly,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not. So we can't question it. Okay, the policymaker thinks, and we have put our trust on them. They're trying to do their work of removing people from farming.
Mm-hmm.
So what's wrong in people want to be aspiring to live in cities? Okay, lead a decent life. Okay, take care of their parents, take care of their children,
Mm-hmm.
have a better health care. Okay, have a good car to commute. Okay, uh, spend good time with their families. Why not? Rather than struggling in drudgery of farming. Why I'm saying this is a painful truth. Okay, the problem is we sitting across probably in this okay discussion, and probably we are trying to put it under the carpet. Okay, isn't it, Shankar?
Uh,
And to be honest, there is no hope. Okay, you agree? There's no hope. The farming, the way we imagine young people going and um, uh, doing farming is all gone. Okay, the only thing is the entire villages get sold off, gets consolidated, farming lots getting consolidated. Okay, big ag coming in. Okay, and I can only see what's happening in the Western countries repeating here. Okay,
yeah,
is there something different? Unless there are some small experiments like Bhoomi Farms,
yeah,
okay, or an Akshayakalpa, small experiments. Okay, will they be successful? Will they be big? Nobody knows. Okay, will they ever make money? Nobody knows. Okay, and there's a fight in lost cause in my opinion. But okay, why it is so reluctance to accept the reality and embrace the reality and do big farm? I'm okay.
yeah, yeah,
So get this 25 acres under one big shed.
yeah, yeah,
Okay, get mechanize everything. Okay, in 2 minutes, 2 hours, it does all the farming.
yeah.
Okay, so why not, Shankar?
So, if you look at Bhoomi, right, the most experienced manager is only 32 years old. And this manager has been with me for 8 years. 32, 33. Most experienced agronomist, our best agronomist is exactly 27-year-old. Okay, 28, 27. Okay. And Bhoomi is a collection of youngsters. I'm 49 and I'm the oldest guy. I feel young when I work with all these youngsters. So we are looking at a population of 100 people who are extremely young. Okay. The difference is Bhoomi provides security of the salary, which is not there in the farming, right? You are right. GDP versus number of people in farming, there's no connection, and GDP is going to start shrinking. The contribution towards GDP from farming is shrinking every year, and India as an economy is growing very fast to become a big economy, and there are so many sectors which are much more exciting than agriculture. Um, I think there will always be a list of people who want to live in the village, who see the value of the village and value of the soil and value of community and value of eating your own food that you grow. Uh, the statistics are all against farming. I agree with you. It is very discouraging, but I don't think I want to give up hope.
Yes,
I want to keep hoping.
I think we all hope.
I want to keep fighting.
No, we all hope, Shankar. The
Yeah.
reality, the contrasting reality is hope has no value. Okay.
Mhm.
And gestation periods, okay, on return on investment in farming, okay,
Yeah.
it doesn't justify. Okay. And consumers believe, okay, that, okay, they can buy through the food by money. Okay. And there are policymakers who believe, okay, farming has no future. For example, FARs of, okay, 18%, okay, of your primary lending should go into agriculture. It's a farce.
So
Okay.
can we have all these people who don't believe farming has no future? No. Stop eating.
No, the point here is, Shankar, the stop eating, okay, is not the question. The question here is, who will grow the food?
Yeah,
The question is, it will not be young
if
people.
it has no future, is what is the policy being promoted, right?
No. The question here is, will the young people come and farm, or a consolidated corporate will do it? In my opinion, okay, it's more and more. It's
More and more corporate.
More and more corporate. Okay, get, okay, 10,000 acres, 20,000 acres, 50,000 acres, mechanize it, okay, and grow the food and sell it. Okay, this is more of a corporates doing farming. Okay, and probably more fastly accepted in India today, okay, than what happened in Western countries. For example, even if you take, okay, I know Wisconsin belt quite well. Okay,
Okay.
lot of farms which are small, 10 acres, 20
They've
acres, 30
disappeared.
acres, they've gone.
Gone.
They disappeared and decimated. Okay?
Yeah.
There's no 20 acre, 30 acre farmer now. It's gone.
Get big or get out.
Get big or get out. What we are trying to do in this program is, Shankar, we want to get these hard facts about food and farming, okay, in front of, okay, audience, especially our consumers. So hopefully they will see the pain points of, okay, this kind of, okay, data being put in front of them by by practitioners. Okay, the policymakers, the way you would think, you would talk is totally different than a practitioner. You go and ask for a farmer, he would tell you the real problems. Okay, so I can see the palak bed here. One side is not, water is not getting sprinkled properly.
Yeah.
Probably it is drying. Okay, other side is probably it is doing. So farmer understands that, policymaker is no way to understand, okay, these aspects. Okay.
I just want to say one point. I think there is some joy in doing farming. There's a lot of romance in it. There's so much fun.
Believe me, Shankar,
Yes.
that is not the truth. Because, okay,
Okay.
the romance and the joy and the fun exists as long as
There is food to eat.
there's a money in the bank account.
Money in the bank account.
Okay, and that's the reality.
Yeah.
Okay, and if a farmer is not making money, where you will find the joy, Shankar? Where you will find the romance in farming, Shankar?
They will only find suicide.
Yes. So that the path is that, okay, we like it's eternal path. Okay, very well written. Either get out, parents will tell you, if you come near the farm, other than, okay, doing your physics, chemistry, and math 100 out of 100, okay, you're going to have, okay, tough time end of the day. So that's how people are getting pushed out of farming. Okay.
Got it.
Okay, by design or by force. So what I was trying to come say is, this program is supposed to bring out these hard facts, hard truth, okay, by talking to practitioners like you and listening to you, okay, in terms of what's happening. So with that bleak, okay, outlook, okay, of what's happening in Indian farming ecosystem, I think, thank you, Shankar, for being in this, okay, show. Okay.
Is good?
Yes.
Okay.
Good, Shankar. Thank you. I wanted to ask a lot of hard questions, but
You already asked already all the hard questions. I didn't know what to tell you. I struggled. But it's good. I mean, I've done.